This is something you need to hear. I am your host, Deacon Metcalf from the Reformation Church of Holiness, a servant called by God with a message for you. To deliver a message to you. Hey, my name is Senior Deacon Metcalf from Reformation Church of Holiness. Want to come to you guys today from important topic and something that I think that a lot of us have trouble with grasping a hold today, Lord. Thanking God. Transformation. I feel like, a lot of youth in this world, are so consumed by what it is that they see. And one thing that I learned is that we're a product of our environment. We are what we eat, we are what we taught, one thing that I have learned over these last 10 years, I feel it's unfair to ask a young man or a young lady, what are their morals, what are their principles, when they really don't know, when our whole thought process is based on influence. Transformation. A thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. There's a Bible verse, Romans 12, where the Word of God says, it said, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind." The renewing of the mind. To know better is to do better. And I think the only way that we can do that is by a transformation of our thinking. And with transformation becomes accountability, and I feel like we lack in that area in society today. A lot of people don't want to take accountability for their actions. So many people are so accustomed to their thinking that their thinking is the right way of thinking. And in actuality, our thinking is flawed because, as I said before, it's based on what we were influenced. So if you were taught as a child, by your father, that it was okay to, have multiple women, or it was okay to misuse women, 9 times out of 10, the son is going to grow up with that same mentality. But it's not until something transpires later on in life and he realizes that it's not what it seems to be, that's when the mind begins to transform. And like I said, transformation brings forth accountability. A lot of us don't want to take accountability for our wrongdoing because it's so easy to influence. It's so easy to justify our actions by what we see the world doing. But one thing that I have learned about transformation, it has done a lot in my life, because it has allowed me to take accountability for where I fell short at. And me taking that accountability has made me a better man. It gave me a broader perspective on the things was going around me. And not just that, it just showed me how much control I really have over circumstances and situations in my life. Because at the end of the day, we can't control what other people think, what other people do. But one thing that I have learned, we can control what we do. And what we do and how we deal with situations can determine the outcome. That's the strength that we have. And that's the power of transformation. And like I said, I just feel like, society lacks that nowadays. We're so caught up on, the social media. We so caught up on, what we see. Not a lot of men are teaching young men how to be men. We have, there's a saying, pseudo, meaning, trying to be something, and I think that we have a lot of men out here being pseudo men, trying to be men, but, you can't fault them, because as I said, it's our environment, it's what we were taught, our parents taught us what their parents taught them. Us nowadays, we want to be better parents, so we're teaching our kids our perspective of what better parenting is. And in some cases that does more harm than it does good, you know, because there's no old school values up in there. You know, a lot of kids, you know, there's a lack of discipline nowadays. You know, you find mothers, you know, wanting to be friends with their daughters. You know, you find fathers, you know what I mean, want to be as young as their sons. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, transformation. We have to change our thoughts and the way that we think and the way that we see things, you know what I mean? And in order for that to happen, especially with the younger generation, you know what I mean, we have to teach them what accountability is, you know what I mean? And we have to not just teach them, but just show them, you know what I mean, be a living example, because I think a lot of them lack because they don't see. They don't see what a man is. They don't see the responsibilities of a man, you know what I mean? So they're only grasping a hold to what it is that they're seeing, and it's really doing our younger generation, is doing them bad.